Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's well and okay. Welcome to General Morning Chit Chat. Now, I know I'm still in my pyjamas, but it could be a day where I stay in my pyjamas. They're just really comfortable for me right now. I can't explain it. I've no plans to go anywhere today. I had a really rough night, and I'm not 100% well. If you've seen Coffee Morning or are about to see Coffee Morning, then you'll know the reason why I may stay in my pyjamas all day, so please forgive me. But I'm still going to be doing me things with you, like I'm doing General Morning Chit Chat now. I'll be doing lunchtime with me, and I'll be doing dinner time with me, and still the odd fun things in between. So just excuse that I'm in my pyjamas. Okay, I just feel like I need this today. Just today. So, General Morning Chit Chat. Right, so welcome to part 3 of events that can happen that can impact your life. And this is about moving house. Okay. Now, this has been voted the third most stressful thing that can happen in your life, moving home. Sometimes moving home can be of your own accord, but also it can be where you're forced to move home. Now, I've never been in a situation, not really, where I've had to be forced to move house. This is my fourth home in my lifetime. So I lived in 2 houses when I was growing up, and then I moved in with Richard in a flat, and then this is my fourth home, my house, what I'm living in now. But anything can happen, because that's life, sadly. I've never owned my own home. So the 2 houses I lived with my mum and dad. No, hold on. The first house I lived with just my mum and my siblings. The second house, my mum married my stepfather, who I refer to as my father. So I lived with them too. And then the third one was the flat. So the second home was my father's house. And then the third house, the third home was the flat, which was privately owned. And then this house, what I live in now, which is privately owned. Now, we don't plan on moving anywhere, really. We're happy where we are at the moment. But the situations around this house, we're managing at the moment, but if Richard's health should get worse, because we've only got a bath and we've only got one bathroom, which is upstairs, and if he can't do the stairs any longer, then we may have to find alternate accommodation. Now, there is a housing crisis in our country at the moment. It's just getting worse, and it's sad hearing stories that I do. That getting on the housing ladder isn't straightforward. And it is what it is. Like, I could sign us up on the housing register and it'll take a long time for us to get another place. I mean, I should sign up really, because just as a precaution. I am on for doing that actually at some point. Getting us on the housing register. I mean, our landlord, as far as we know, he doesn't have any plans to sell any of his houses. But if he did turn round and one day and say, I'm giving you so much notice, I need you to get out, where could we possibly go? Well, that's the world we live in. You do hear about landlords selling up the properties. And people trying to find somewhere else to go. It does happen. Now, moving home, it should be straightforward. It should be stress-free, but it isn't. You've got all what's left behind as well. Sometimes you find the perfect home and you've got the perfect neighbours and you're on the perfect street. Things never stay the same. One minute you may have perfect neighbours, and then one day they move away, or that they just no longer live next door to you, and you suddenly end up with someone else living next door to you who are a different kettle of fish. We've been lucky, Richard and I, for the moment. We know who's who in this row where we live. There's not been any trouble as such, not really. So we have been lucky. Some people sometimes aren't always. So sometimes it may take neighbours who move to make you move. Because not all neighbours are friendly. Sometimes you get neighbours from hell, and I've seen the programme. And when you've got bad neighbours, things can really be dramatic, really stressful. And you don't know why a neighbour can be so hostile. But they can. And it can make your life a living hell. So then suddenly you may be moving to either a smaller place. Now this is what happens with the council. Apparently, if you're lucky enough to get offered a potential home, they ring up or something, and they offer you a place. So you go and look at it. I believe you've got 3 refusals. Before they said they can't offer you any more properties. Because they look at it as if, well, you mustn't be that desperate if you refuse. It's not like it was. It's a bidding system. And you have to have so many points to be more successful. Now, I believe there is a priority list. And it is really, really harsh. It really is. And it may be very unfair to some people. But the priority list is people who are out of prison. They come out of prison. People who's got medical exemptions. People who's seeking asylum, I think. Seeking asylum. And those who may be in danger from such like domestic abuse and whose life is in danger. I believe them are some of the priority cases. Okay. But there is a housing crisis in our country. And I know the government are building homes all the time. But this is where people do get mad and sad, because we've got a lot of, especially in the areas where we live, we don't live in a city. We've got a lot of green around, like green fields, and and most places do in the north. I'm not saying the south don't, but the north, they have a lot of we have a lot of countryside and things what's close, and people like it being green. But a lot of the time, this is where new houses are being built on green lands, and a lot of people get upset about it because it's sort of, it's unique. But I believe it happens all over the world as well. A lot of things are getting spoiled because of them building this, that and the other on things. It's really sad. You hear about the rainforests getting torn down where the orangutans live, and because that's their home, you know. It can be quite sad. Can be quite sad. I mean, people get really, really upset that they have to leave the home. Some people have lived in their homes for years and they don't want to move anywhere else. And you can't say you blame them. A lot of people's memories are in their home. And they want to stay. Now, the worst cases is if you like us and you live in a rented house and you can no longer afford your rent and you have to vacate the property and you've nowhere to go. That is sad. If you've lost your job for whatever reason and you can no longer afford to live, it must be devastating. It really must be. And suddenly, because I believe there's rules where you get given notice to vacate your home, and if you refuse to do so, it gets put in the courts, and then it gets to where you have you get ordered by the courts to leave, and then if you don't leave, then you get these people knocking at your door. I think they're called enforcement officers. And they move you out. I mean, it's so sad. I mean, you hear about people barricading the door because they've nowhere else to go. And they've no one to turn to. 20 minutes has gone. But there's a lot of other things about moving home. Because when you move home, you have to change everything over. Which is stressful. I've been through this a few times where we've had to change our address on everything. And make sure you move everything with you and you don't leave anything behind. For anybody who is going through this, because it can be a challenging part of your life sometimes. I hope your move goes well and smoothly. There's probably a lot of things I've missed around this subject, but I've tried my best, okay. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. As always, it does mean so much to us. Thank you to my current subscribers and hopefully future subscribers, as you will all be amazing. Please check out all my other videos and content, as you may find them interesting and enjoyable. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Whatever you're doing. And please take care. Any of the issues I've covered to do with housing, then you can seek advice. If you're in any trouble with your house or anything, rent arrears, anything like that, there is the citizens' advice you can turn to. That they may give you support, and there's also the local council as well, who can point you to some directions. Okay. So please take care, and I'll see you again soon. Okay. Bye.